What is good, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the channel. We are going to be talking today about Tony Khan making another big announcement. I know. This time, they made sure to emphasize that Tony Khan, this coming Wednesday on Dynamite, February 7th in Phoenix, Arizona, will make a big announcement. Now, it also states that on Twitter, if you go on Twitter, and I read the tweets and everything like that, it literally says AEW and CEO GM Tony Khan has a major announcement this Wednesday. So, big and major. Great synonym. What this could be, respectfully, I personally have no idea. Fightful reported that eventually, well, first they said that, in January, Mercedes Moné was going to pop up in AEW. Now Mercedes rumors again are coming out saying that she will not be showing up on wrestling probably until around March. So this timeline would essentially add up. And then as you all know, Okada is currently a free agent as well. I know AEW has been making a play at him. WWE has also been making a play at him. But the way that this is working out could be incredibly circumstantial based on Tony Khan and what he is willing to do for them, as well as what they are willing to allow Tony Khan to do for them versus going to WWE. So if by some miracle the announcement for Tony Khan is that they are going to do some sort of show in Massachusetts, specifically Boston, at that point I think it's pretty clear to say that Mercedes may show up. It could also be something like Tony Khan will make a huge announcement or a big announcement, and the announcement will be a major signing to be revealed at Revolution, which at that point would add up since Mercedes isn't scheduled to come back to wrestling till March. If that were the case, then the timeline would more or less add up because Revolution is March 3rd of this year. So he could technically have Moné show up at Revolution, and then maybe, I don't know if you want to like overhype the pay-per-view by having two major signings like Okada and Mercedes in the same pay-per-view. If anything, one might overshadow the other in either direction, you know what I mean? So maybe he signs one, or maybe he just signs one of them, right? Maybe because maybe WWE will get the other, or maybe he somehow gets them both. But again, I think if they both sign simultaneously, that's cool and all, but do different announcement for it, or at least I would have maybe one of them be like a big announcement at Revolution, and then have the second one be a situation where they just come out and make the save for someone big, or in a big way, or they do like a Cody Rhodes type of thing with Seth, where it's like at the next pay-per-view they have like a really big, or event, they have a really big potential matchup for someone, and then that person winds up being either Okada or Mercedes. Honestly, dude, it's really hard because I also want AEW to announce a streaming deal. For those of you who have been longtime subscribers of the channel, you know that I, at one point, I don't know if I still feel this way, I wanted Tony Khan to put AEW, or at least the catalog of AEW for the US consumer, on Max. And the reason why I say that is because Max is owned by Warner Brothers. Now, I know that they were supposed to do some merger with Paramount Plus, I think it's called. I know that there was rumors about some potential merger with that. There's also like Max and Discovery. The biggest one that I heard was there was actually Warner Brothers was going to merge Paramount with Max. Now that one would be very interesting because the catalog of all my old school cartoons are on there. But with that being said, for you Fight TV people who are European, you guys have Dynamite available to you. I believe it's called AEW Plus, and it's $6.99 a month USD, which is great because you get every single show on there: Collision, Dark, Rampage, Dynamite, Dark Elevation, etc. But they don't show the pay-per-views. But that's fine because you get all the episodic weekly TV shows. I think that should happen, but in the US, and it should be Max. If it's not Max, at this point, I don't know what they should do. And then when Ring of Honor's contract expires, they can move Ring of Honor to Max as well, because I would assume it's not a permanent contract with Fight Club or Honor Club or whatever it's called. So that's something I would personally like to see as well. In the comment down below, let me know what you think the major announcement is. I think it's either a major signing, the digital stream deal, which I was saying, and by deal I just mean the catalog being put on there. I don't necessarily think that Dynamite Live will move to Max, at least not yet, or any streaming service. I don't think they go the WWE route just yet. Although I do think eventually wrestling as a whole will be only streamable. That's just my opinion, because usually the pioneers, WWE, when they do something, other streaming companies follow suit. Anyways, man, that's all I got for you. What do you think the major announcement is? I think that's all I have on my mind. I just wanted to come out here and make a raw cut video. By all means, man, sound off in the comments. Do you think it's Mercedes? Do you think it's Okada? Or do you think it's someone else? Do you think it's Gila? or sorry, Julia.
You must be some kind of a dumbass.
I butchered her name. I apologize. Because again, Julia would be a pretty big deal in my opinion. I know that a lot of the American audience may not know who she is, like the casuals, right? But my understanding is that Dynamite, most people aren't casuals, so I feel like they would know who Julia is. Or maybe it's Jamie Hayter returning, right? There's a plethora of announcements that it could be. Britt and Jamie returning, etc. But if it's a really big announcement like this, I really think it's a signing or something that has to do with a big contract type of deal with either streaming or Dynamite getting renewed, or something of the sort like that. With that being said, Vince McMahon is all elite, baby.